So today I am making some apple pies or apple turnovers. I'm not really sure yet, but I do know what you'll need is some Granny Smith apples. I only have 2, so it's going to be a small batch, and then some nutmeg, some cinnamon, lemon juice, and then some sugar and flour, and then a bowl here. All this other stuff. So I went ahead and already made my pie crust yesterday. This is the recipe if you want to use it. So 1 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons sugar, 1 stick of butter, 3 tablespoons of ice cold water, and then a teaspoon of salt. And then you want to put all that in the food processor and mix it, and it comes out like this. And then you just want to put this in the refrigerator for a little bit. So first I washed these. I'm going to peel them and then cut them. I was also going to make some peach cobbler or something like that, but we don't have any peaches, so that's off the table. This is my second kind of sweet treat video. The first one I did was when I made cookies, and that was my first ever cooking video on this channel. Those cookies are good. Hopefully this turns out good. I don't really have a recipe because no one really had measurements for only 2 apples, and I just couldn't figure out the math on it. So I did have a list, just a small list of things I wanted to talk about. So the first thing is my acting. So if you don't know, I am an actor. I do act. And so the first ever thing I've acted in that I did back in December, was February this year. It just finally came out, so I'm excited about that. Well, excited to see that is out. But recently, I had a busy week. I think about 2 weeks ago, I was in 2 productions, or 2 acting gigs that I did. One, so both of these were just extra things. I was an extra. One of the extra roles was actually my first ever paid gig, and that's kind of why I did it, because it was giving me some money. They were offering money, so everything I've been in so far, I haven't got any money for. That's usually what it is with acting, if you're doing it like I'm doing it, which is just finding casting calls online, on Facebook, locally. Oh, so next, I peeled everything, and I'm going to now core it. So I have this nice little core, but you could just use what you got. It's very messy. So that extra gig was on a TV show, and that one's part of the SAG-AFTRA union. Maybe that's why they were able to give more money. I don't really know, but they were giving extras money. So, but it was my first paid gig. I'd got close to $60 from it, which is real nice. And the second gig I did, I played a dead body. So then I'll take my apples and I'll make them smaller, cut them up, and put them in this bowl. If you watch any crime shows and there's just someone who plays a dead body and just laying there, they get paid for that. That's kind of what I did for this show. It wasn't a crime show, it was a horror or a short film. I had to be really still, and they put some blood drops in my eyes, in my mouth. It looked really scary. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun not knowing what was going on. especially because the girl next to me, she was actually set on fire, and I had to play dead next to her while she had literal flames, and I could hear the flames crackling while I was, dead. So I was like, am I gonna get set on fire? Because we were like this close, this far apart from each other. So I was hearing the crackling, and I was trying not to open my eyes, but I was worried I was gonna get burned. But the girl who did get set on fire, it was all safe and stuff, pyrotechnics, but she kept yelling like, it's burning, and they had to put her out several times. We had a few takes, and she was, yeah. I was like, if they set me on fire, which I was like, ooh, if they set me on fire, I would have been like, give me some money, because this was part of a competition, and so they couldn't pay the actors because it per the rules. But yeah, if they set me on fire, I would have been like, you gotta give me some money, because that's dangerous. She was burning, and I would just hear her next to me just screaming like, it's burning, and they had to go take the fire. They had to rush in and stop her from being on fire. But it was quite scary. I know I was next to her, and I was like, ooh. I know she was like, ooh. And then afterwards, they said all her arm hair was burned off, and she started having like burns on her arms. It was, yeah. Would y'all do that? But my character, I was just, playing dead. So they'd yell action, and then I'd go action, and I was in a chair, so I was just sitting and like, what I said was kind of a bit tricky. Was the scene would go on, and I would be like, oh, am I supposed to wake up now or not? Because they yell cut, and then the scene ends, and then they reshoot it. But I was like, do I wake up? Do I just stay dead? I'm still deciding what I want to do. Whatever this video is titled, then you know what I made. But I don't know what I'm going to make. I don't know if I should do turnovers or small apple pies or a big apple pie. I love apple pie, but it has to be a certain one, a certain type of apple pie. I like to call it a family reunion pie. That's not something I like. The ones that are homemade, and homemade's good, but I'm saying like they're homemade and they have like a weird flavor to them. I don't know, because the spices that whoever cooked it made. All of the family reunion apple pies taste the same to me. I was at a family reunion once, and I think one of my aunts had made an apple pie, and they were auctioning it off. They were auctioning off a bunch of sweets and stuff at the reunion, and it was, people were betting on it because these were real good apple pies that my aunt makes, and they were like betting money, and it was between, it was like a few people, and then it was my dad and this other guy. They were not betting, but like saying, auctioning for the pie. The pie ended up getting over 100, I think, $20, $130, $140, and my dad was like, nope, we're not paying that much. And my dad, that's his aunt too, and he's a nephew, so he's like, well, I'm just gonna go ask her to make me a pie instead, a free one. But my aunt got 140 out of apple pie. That man, I don't know, the other man that was auctioning or placing his money, I don't know what it's called, but he was serious. I'm sure he would have went to 200 something. And like, is it that good? I never had one of my aunt's apple pies, I don't think. there's a store company. They're called Brahms. They have a really good frozen apple pie. And my dad and I, we love that brand. We used to get it all the time. And then we moved away from that. We don't have a Brahms where we live, but when we went back to where I'm from on vacation just this year, my dad, he bought like 3 of those apple pies, and we were only there for like a week. So yeah, my dad, he was eating apple pie for breakfast, he was eating it for dinner, with, you know, his breakfast and dinner. But I was like, is it that good? I mean, it is good, but I wasn't eating it like that. My family, we really love sweets. I got some acne going on, you know, because sugar makes me break out, but I just love sweets. I said I'm gonna try to calm down with the sweets after this month. It's currently October 28th. Let's try one. Ooh. I've never been a Granny Smith apple girl, a girly. I've never been one of those. They're just really like tart. It actually made my jaws like, you know, clench up. So this is how much I have. Probably maybe 3 to 4 cups of apple slices. So next, this is where I'm gonna go rogue because I don't have a recipe. So just follow along if you can. So a little lemon juice here. That was about a tablespoon. I have some Vietnamese cinnamon. This is supposed to be a stronger cinnamon. You can use regular cinnamon, but I don't know. I got it from Marshall's. My mom got it at Marshall's. So cinnamon, I'll do about, that looks to be about a teaspoon. Nutmeg, I'm not big on mace or nutmeg. Just put that much. And some flour, I'll do about that looks like a tablespoon and some change, or a dash, tablespoon and a dash, and some sugar. I think I need about 1/4 cup sugar. This is what it looks like right now. Mix it all together. You want to coat all your apple slices. And I'm done now. Alright, so I have decided to make some sort of apple pie, but small ones, like round ones. So kind of like turnovers, except instead of using puff pastry, I'll be using pie crust, which might still be a turnover, I don't know. But I just floured this. This is freezer paper, and I floured it a little bit. Time to roll out the dough. So you want this to be chilled. I just put it in the refrigerator for an hour after you make it, if you want to make it same day. With this pie crust. Alright, so I flour my hands. So this channel, I started this channel in April 2024. It's currently October. We're a few days from Halloween. And I reached 40 subscribers. But I lost 2 randomly. I don't know why, but it's okay. But I lost 2 subscribers. So as soon as I hit 40, I lost 2. They hate to see you win. They hate to see you win. I'm just joking. But I did gain one, so now I'm at 39. So I'm one more away from 40, which is a big deal to me because it means 40 people are subscribed. But views matter more than subscription, in all honesty. But the more subscribers I get, the more I can get to getting money off of YouTube. It just depends on, who wants to sub, view, all that stuff, And I was saying if I hit 100 subs, then I might bake a cake. But I'm a slow growing channel, so I might hit 100 subscribers around 2026 or something. And I probably forget. I even said make a cake at 100, but I mean, if I do and I remember, remind me, and I will. At this point, I'm like, maybe I can make a cake at 50 subs. Slow moving. Some people might find my videos boring. I've been told that they are a bit boring. And it's just kind of me, personality-wise. I am a lively person, but in the cameras, I'm not shy on camera. Like some people might be. I'm just, I guess, mellow. But me, I'm like, if you get to know me, I'm super energetic, probably very extroverted, but I'm introverted 90% of the time. But any other time, especially when I'm around my family or friends, I'm extroverted, just kind of loud and, not loud, but I'm just very chaotic. So I want to so you have to get something to hold that down. But just take your dough and roll it out to a big, sheet. Well, if you're here to watch me cook and I'm just talking, you're like, alright, I need to go find someone who's actually cooking instead of talking. But that's kind of what the videos I make, in all honesty. Because I love talking, yes. I used to get in trouble at school for talking so much. Well, if you are watching... I was going to say, if you are watching, thank you. Thank you very much. But I'm just kind of making these just for funsies. I don't really care about, I didn't care about views and stuff like that. But the more you do it and the more you see people engaging with it, the more you're like, more. You want it to be cold, the dough, so your butter doesn't melt. Just keep, pressing. You kind of gotta move around too, like you're playing Dance Revolution. I was thinking, well, I don't have, so I said it's close to Halloween, but I don't really have a Halloween costume. I stopped going trick-or-treating when I hit about 15. I know I look 15 now. I'm a bit older than that. I'm not trying to say my personal information, but I'm still young, just not as young as people think. I go to restaurants and people still ask me, do you want a kids menu? And I'm like, no. Way past that. But in all honesty, if you did, you could be like, yeah, I guess kids menu. Because it's cheaper, but I'm not condoning that. I don't do that. Aria tells people to lie. I didn't say that. So I have this here. It might be, yeah. So I'm just using it as a cutter because I don't have a biscuit cutter big enough. There. I had to use 2 knives to put the paper down. It's a bit dark. Let me see if I can... It is what it is. So I have my dough. It's about, you can just flatten out like you're making cinnamon rolls or a pizza crust. But that may be about 12 inches going height and 12 going width. So just 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. Then you want to put this. You can use a bowl too. And I'm going to press it and take this knife and cut the edges. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going off of this dot. And you could use a better knife than this. Get your good knives. Cut around, and I'll do that. Well, let me make my first one to see if this is gonna work. Yeah, the dough is a bit tough to handle, so I'll put, this is maybe 5 apple slices. This is about 8 apple slices here. Just about a big spoonful. And you want to put that in the middle. I'll put another one. I preheated the oven to 370. We'll see how it goes. And I'll try for 15 minutes at first. 15. What people think my age is, 15. And fold it. Ooh, that looks good. Okay. Well, I kind of messed it up when I picked it up, but you want it to look like a little smile. And you want to take a fork, crimp down the sides. If you want something like apple pie treat that's just really quick, do a regular apple pie. That's way faster. It would have been like in the oven already. But I like doing things differently. Ooh. Okay. Well, you see the applesauce just spilled everywhere. Here's the first one. It's spilling, so this is how you make calzones too. Alright, I'm gonna put this on a pan I made. Here it is. And then you'll egg wash over top. I'm debating whether or not I want to put slits in the top of it. I don't think I need to because there's already a hole, around the edges because I didn't crimp it right. Do the same. So as I was saying, I think I said, I stopped going trick-or-treating, but I might go maybe this year if I decide, and if I can go over to my friend's house. The new season of Heartstopper dropped. I was watching it with my friend. We are not done yet, but it's nice. I also saw The Wild Robot, which Kit Connor, he's a star of Heartstopper, one of the stars of Heartstopper, and he's also in The Wild Robot, the movie that just came out. So I just had a Kit Connor viewing party. Kit Connor is one of my favorite actors. He also is playing Romeo on the Broadway show, Romeo and Juliet. I'm trying to see if someone would drop some more clips. All we've seen is him lifting up, and doing a pull-up to kiss Rachel Zegler or Juliet. Or is it Ziegler or Ziegler? I think Ziegler. Alright, more apples. So, I'm jumping around in conversation because I keep forgetting to finish my sentences. But one year, so when I was younger, I just kind of drew whatever. I put whatever on for Halloween. So I would be soccer player because I played soccer. It was short-lived. I played soccer for a day. And also, I was on the field. I was maybe like 10. I was on the field, I actually cried. I don't know why I was crying. I don't know. I guess because I didn't want to play. And, I was on the side and I was crying, and then one of my teammates was like, "What's going on?" And I and so that's the last time I played. We went home after the game, and I was like, "I don't want to do this anymore." I remember I just laid on the couch the entire rest of the day. I just did not like soccer. Neither did my brother. We aren't soccer fans. Because I was actually hyped to start it, and then I went out there and I played my first game, and I was out there for a little bit, and I did not want to play. But that was like me in sports. I played basketball as well, and I was like, I wish I did more sports in school. But I just never did it. I did basketball for a season, and I was like, I wish I'd continue that. Basketball is my favorite sport. Can deep fry these too if you want. So here's number two. Let me see if it'll be. Yeah, it's kind of spilling out. You see him. So costume-wise, I was a soccer player. I was a baseball fan. I was a graduate. I was a graduate. I was also a duck. I was a princess. That was when I was younger, a duck and a princess. I'm never too big on princesses. I wasn't into that. Yeah. I was just different. And that one year I went as a nerd, which I had suspenders and everything. Because it was, I had suspenders and stuff. But I was mentioning baseball, so I just wanted to tell this funny story that happened this year at a baseball game. So, a little backstory just to me and baseball. I'm not a huge baseball fan. Did I say the oven's on 370 degrees? I'm not a huge baseball fan, but my grandpa and my aunt, they actually work at MLB. So they work at an MLB team. They work for this team in the stadium. And they've been doing that for over 10 years. And so they give you free tickets, and we will always go to the games because my grandpa and my aunt would have free tickets. And my aunt actually worked in the all-you-can-eat section, so we would always go there. And so, that was fun going, especially because it was for free. But I don't like baseball. Back then it was fun because, you're with your family and you're just having fun. You're a little kid at the game. But we did go back this year, and this team, they have a new stadium. This is melting. You gotta be quick. Oh, that looks horrible. Look at it. I'm gonna eat it though. Looks like some kind of sea creature. I'll tell the story and wrap it up. But we went to the game this year, and it was a new stadium, so my grandpa, he was showing us around the entire stadium. It's a really cool stadium. It's built literally minutes away from the old stadium. And so we went in the new stadium. It looks really nice. It's indoor. And we walked around the entire thing, and we were meeting all the staffers. And I didn't know how popular my grandpa was, but it was cool to see him at work, and he just turned into a different person. He's like really, really outgoing. He already is, but he's like super outgoing, and everyone, they were like really friendly and nice, and we just got to meet them all. But so towards the end of the game, we literally didn't even watch the game. We were walking around the stadium the entire time, and we got there before the game even started. It was just walking around, so we barely saw the game, but that's alright, because, I say baseball is kind of boring to me, personally. You do you like what you like, but it's a bit boring to me. But we went down to this lounge area that they have at the stadium, and it's right underneath the dugout, right by the dugouts. And we were down there, and then the game was over. Towards the end, the game was over, and people go down there, they start drinking a lot. But this guy, we were sitting at a table, my mom and I, and my family were sitting at this table, and this random guy just walks up, and he's like, "Don't let anybody tell you to do something you don't want to do." It was literally like that. I saw him and I was just like, what is this strange man coming up to us? And he said, "Don't let anybody tell you to do something you don't want to do." And he just walked off. He was intoxicated, and I was like, this is so strange. But I mean, it's been a few months, and I still remember it like it was yesterday, because it is an impactful statement that he said, although he probably didn't even know he said it. But it's a nice statement that he said, and it stuck with me, and it really is like, yeah, don't let people tell you to do something that you don't want to do, and don't do anything you don't want to do, I thought that was funny, though. He actually went up to my mom specifically, and he was like, "Don't let it," and it was funny. But I'll finish these up, and then I'll be back. It's already turned into a mess, because the dough is already getting warmer and sticking everywhere. But I'll be back. So I just finished all the turnovers. I have about 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. I do have some apples left over. I did have some Granny Smith apples left over. And I did have a different type of apple, so I just cut some more up. And I have some more here. And I did that because I had extra pie crust, and I didn't want to freeze it. So I'm just going to try to use as much as possible. So I did find this little thing. So it turns out I'm going to be making apple pie too. So I'm going to see how this will turn out. Here's this batch. So the ones I did off camera are definitely a lot better than the ones I did on camera. It's because I added flour to the dough, so it's not as sticky. But let me make this. So I flattened out my pie crust, and I'm just going to throw this in. I did grease this pan out. Yeah, it's not going to be a cute little pie. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. Just going to press it down, press the sides now. So the Dallas Mavericks are back this season. They're currently 1-1. They play today. They actually are probably almost over. The game is. They're playing Utah today. They did have their first loss on Saturday versus Phoenix. Mavericks never played too good versus Phoenix, but they did during the Western Conference, so the playoffs a few years ago, 2022. But I'm excited for this team. They definitely still need some help, some more players, some more depth. But I'm excited because they got Klay Thompson, Luka, Kyrie. They got some new players. You know, my favorite player, well, Luka, I like all of them, but Jaden Hardy off the bench, I think he has potential. He just has a lot of things to work on, but has potential to be a good player if he can just play better and Dallas doesn't trade him off or he doesn't not produce. So he doesn't not play well. He doesn't play well. You know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to put these apples in here. I think this was a good idea. Good pan too. Use everything you got. You use everything you got. I just used a little rocket apple. If any of you are familiar with rocket apples, I'll show you. Very small. Not sponsored. This is actually kind of cute. Real cute. Sometimes I have some good ideas. Alright, now over the top. I still will have some pie crust. I have to redo this. I messed up. I still have some pie crust left over, so I don't know. I might just bake it and probably eat it or something. I don't know. Because I don't want to waste this. Don't waste your good stuff. As I just wasted flour. I put too much on it. This is probably going to be a longer video. Alright. Crust on top. And then I'll try to do the thing they do. I don't know how to crimp the pie crust. How do they do that? I made some chicken pot pie a few days ago, so I've just been making pie crust all week. Maybe I can show you guys the chicken pot pie recipe, because it's really good. I don't mess up too much in the kitchen. That just comes with experience. Cooking. Been cooking since I was 5. I always like cooking, and I always like eating. Alright. Now I'm going to put these in the oven. I said 15 minutes. I'm going to see how it's going to do. I've got flour everywhere. But here it is. So for this one, it's going to be a thick. For this one, I'm going to actually slit it a little bit of across or an X in the middle of the crust. Okay, I just did a hole because I couldn't get an X. But there's the pie. I might eat this one for dinner. Dessert. So, with my dinner. Yeah, because it looks cute. Or I'll save this for my dad. He likes apple pie. More than me. He loves apple pie. Alright, so off to put them in the oven. And I'll be back. And of course, I gotta clean up. Worst part of cooking is cleaning. Best part of cooking is eating. If it's good. Alright, bye. Oh, I just realized egg wash. I have to do egg wash. I'll do that. It's messy. Just ignore the mess. So 1 egg. And a little bit of water. And then egg, and you want to, oh, I'm not showing it. I'll be back. Okay, so the egg wash, I turned off the overhead light so it's a bit darker, but you can see it now. So the egg wash, just put some over it. This is just to make it look better, I guess. Yeah, I'll do that for all of these. Now going back, I did say I've been cooking since I was 5. My family, they know I like to cook, and even my friends do. And some people, they're like, oh, you don't want to be a chef? And I'm like, no, I don't want to chef it up. But I do, and I've always had an interest in starting my own restaurant. So if I have the funds one of these years in the future, maybe I can start my own restaurant. Or if somebody wants to help me with that. I don't even know anything about business or starting a business. I just know I have an idea to start my own restaurant. I even have some menu items I have on a list. So I did good. I didn't waste anything. No waste apple turnovers. Which is good. All I'm going to waste is this egg wash right now. Yep. I don't have a restaurant name, but the food will be good. And I always have a complaint about prices, but I'm like, if I got my own restaurant, then prices are going to be how I see fit. Which is like, oh, you don't want other people to do it, but you're going to do it? Maybe. Who knows? These might be super expensive by the time I even get stuff going. Alright. Here's the turnovers once again. My best ones are the ones I did off camera. And you see this. So I'm going to put these in the oven now. And I'll be back when it's all done. Hopefully it turns out good. Okay, so they're finally done. They took about close to 40 minutes. Maybe 32, 33. I don't remember. I just kind of changed the time. But they are done. Here's the little miniature apple pie. It's very hot. I just took it out. Some spillage there. Doesn't it look nice? And the turnovers. This one burnt because I had it on the bottom rack. But these ones look a lot better over here. So, I'll try it after dinner. But don't they look nice? I'll show you this pan here. Ignore this one. I don't know why that one burnt more than the rest. Looks gross. But there's the turnovers. See how they taste. They smell good. Yep. But there is the apple turnovers and the miniature apple pie. I'll probably put in the description what I thought of them if I remember. But I think they'll be good, you know. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Ew. I never say that, but at this point, let me just do, share if you want to, like, comment, do whatever. If you're watching, you found this entertaining, because I'm sure this video is probably close to 50 minutes, if not an hour or so. But that's it. I do want to try to taste test one for the camera, but I'm not going to do that. I'll just let you know later. Alright, bye.